Let's make some lists, starting at the top and going to the bottom, baby. The top and bottom list with Ed and Andy. Let's make some lists, starting at the top and going to the bottom, baby. The top and bottom list with Ed and Andy.
Lance, and this is
Andy,
and we are here to talk about Prince today. And before we get into that, I was challenged by my little brother, and I'm kind of offended that he didn't think that I could. He wanted me to say these words on the air, and he didn't think I could fit them in. He wanted me to say them in the first 5 minutes of the podcast, and I just, I was confused how I could say these words. I was trying to think of it. He must think I'm stupid. I was flabbergasted, one would say, that my little brother thinks that I'm an imbecile.
Oh, come on. That's too easy.
Yes, those were the words. Flabbergasted, imbecile. So take that, Michael.
Well, let me say, too, so I want to comment on your work there, because not everybody's a Prince fan like we are. So Your intro there, after our normal intro, you had 3 or 4 Prince songs that kind of say hello or intro.
Pieces of different Prince songs. The first part was just the bell at the beginning of Starfish and Coffee. The second was obviously Hello.
Hello, B-side.
And then part of the beginning of Let's Go Crazy. Yeah. And then, of course,
My Name is Prince.
And actually in the background of that was probably a little bit of I Want to Be Your Lover, because that's mixed in. And we'll get and we can talk more about that later.
Well, first let's talk about, too, we're big Prince fans, right?
Yes,
so let's just say that it's been a long time coming. We have a common interest in Prince. There's not many artists we can do this for. Well,
Yeah, I mean, there is, but Prince is both of our favorites. Like, if we did our top artists of all times, we'd probably say, and we did this, we said, we can't do Prince. We're not doing Prince.
Yep.
And actually, one of our students, former students, commented on both of our Facebook pages saying, it's about time y'all did this. She's been waiting for this one to come, because our students know this. I'll walk by Andy's class, and I'll back up a little bit, and I'll look at him and say, how's the family?
Yes.
Just like Morris Day did in Purple Rain.
And so we're not doing the top Prince songs per se. We're not doing the top Prince albums. So we're doing definitely Prince theme today. So why don't you explain to our audience what we are actually doing today, the rules of our podcast.
Yeah, we decided, and we're probably going to do a few on Prince throughout this whole series, different topics with Prince. But we thought it might be too easy, or we didn't want to just do the obvious, because we decided that we're going to do the top Prince songs that we like the most that did not chart in the top 20 pop charts on Billboard. And there's a list of them, and Prince had a lot in there, and so it really took a lot off our table. It took my favorite song by Prince off the table. And anyway, what's your favorite Prince song? I'm going to put you on the spot. Favorite overall?
I don't know. On my spot, I would say Purple Rain.
I have 2. So
Purple Rain's cliche, but I love Purple Rain. I love I Would Die For You. It really depends on the mood I'm in for. But I will say my 5 today, I listen to a lot. I listen to more Purple Rain, more than other things.
Well, I mean, in my top 2, one of them's in this list, so I'll tell you now, is I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man off Sign of the Times, which is my favorite Prince album. And so, I just love the guitar and his vocals in that. It's just such a smooth party dance song that I really like. And my other one, actually, we're going to talk about later, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But let me go through this list. I'm going to run down this list really quick and tell you what the top 20 songs that we cannot use are.
And these are songs that were charted high for Prince.
Yeah, they're top 20. I looked them all up, and this is really in chronological order. It's I Want to Be Your Lover, 1999, Little Red Corvette, Delirious, When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, Purple Rain, I Would Die For You, Raspberry Beret, Pop Life, Kiss, Sign of the Times, I Could Never Take the Place of Yo Man, You Got the Look, Alphabet Street, Bat Dance, Party Man, Thieves in the Temple, Cream, Diamonds and Pearls, 7, and The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. But also, the rules are that we can't pick any of these songs, but for our bottom 3, we have to pick 3 of these songs that we like the least from this list.
So we're doing, I guess you could say, underrated Prince songs, hidden gems that didn't chart, and then also the ones you just listed, the ones of those, 3 of those that aren't our favorite.
Yeah, so you ready to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's start from the top, from the top, from the top, from the top. Let's start from the top, from the top. Let's start from the top, from the
this week we're going to start with me.
All right. Looking
Yes.
forward to it.
So I'm going to start with my number 5 favorite Prince song that did not chart in the top 20. And mine is off of 1999, and it's Let's Pretend We're Married. And I got to give a shout out to my brother, my oldest brother, Tommy Arnold, because I would not have become a Prince fan. I mean, I'm sure I would have eventually become a Prince fan, but just like you'd mentioned in the last episode, people influence, like your friend.
My friend Kurt got me into Dead Milkman.
Dead Milkman, and his older sister got him into Dead Milkman. Well, my older brother Tommy, he pretty much, my early years of music, he influenced it. It was Prince, Styx, and Rick Springfield. But
Thanks,
of course,
Tommy.
Prince was always over the top. And I always played 1999 and Let's Pretend We're Married. I heard over and over again. It's just such a great song. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Do you?
I could do top 5 Rick Springfield songs. So this one, I noticed like this song was released as a single, and I have like several on my list that were singles as well,
Sure.
but they didn't chart, so they're still not hits. Like this is not
No.
a song people know, but
No.
it is a great song. I mean, 1999, great album. It's one of his songs that's like 7 minutes long. It just funks the whole way
Yeah.
through.
And obviously, we're not going to play the whole songs, but I do want to tell you that we're going to play shorter clips of the songs. I'm just going to play sort of like the part that we all know of the songs, because especially Prince's properties, they protect the hell out of that, and they'd probably just ban my podcast from all platforms if I played a Prince song on there without paying royalty, and we can't afford that.
We don't want Prince suing us.
No, we don't want Prince suing us, and so I'm going to go through this right now, and I'm going to play a snippet from Let's Pretend We're Married.
Let's pretend we're married and go all night. There ain't nothing wrong if it feels alright. I won't stop until the morning light. Let's pretend we're married and go all night tonight.
In a lot of Prince's earlier songs, they were dirty and talking about doing things like that. And I did notice from ours that all of ours are Prince songs prior to 2000, not prior to 2000.
Mine are prior to 90.
Prior to 90, yeah, but I think they are all prior to 2000. So, when we say we're super Prince fans, we are, but we really enjoy the stuff before he got religious, I guess.
Yeah, mine range from 79 to 85.
Oh, I did not even look up mine. I didn't
So
do
there
that
you go.
research.
But it's funny. So this one, we segregated mine. So yes, Let's Pretend We're Married is a raunchy thing. If you could see the title of it, they're pretending that they're married so he could be raunchy with her.
And go all night.
And this was kind of like, Prince's before rock and roll, more still funk and that kind of innuendo type music phase. Which segues into my number 5, which is the same album, by the way. That's why I'm going to segue now. Mine is Automatic from 1999, which, by the way, came out for your younger listeners out there. 1999 album came out in 1982.
It's a great album because I actually have another one off that album coming up later.
Yeah, great album. And this song, Automatic, it's 9 minutes and 27 seconds long. Just like your last one, I don't know, it's a long song. It's kind of where Prince sings for 4 minutes, and there's like 5 minutes of funk and music playing. In this case, it's the Lynn LM1 drum machine. He plays throughout it. It's just funky stuff. Because I'm a funky guy, right?
Yeah, you are.
When I hear the stuff,
Your name is Andy, and you are funky.
That's right. And so, like, it's kind of in his Minneapolis sound stage, they say it, where it's a blend of electronic funk, new wave, and R&B. By the way, so Automatic was actually released as a single, his 5th single off the album. I know you know it. It's a popular album. So the singles were 1999, Little Red Corvette, Delirious, Let's Pretend We're Married, and then Automatic.
Yeah, and DMSR was a big track off of that, too, because it was on the Risky Business soundtrack. We know this, but it actually wasn't on the first version of 1999.
No, it was
They
not
added
on
it
the
later.
cassette version.
Yeah, the cassette version, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the album, not the cassette. But yeah, so a lot of singles. So our songs were singles, but they weren't hits like the other ones were. But yeah, it's a great album. It's also a double album, and it's my favorite Prince album, 1999.
Yes, it used to be my favorite Prince album, but at some point I changed the sign of the times. And the reason why I like those two the best because they're double albums.
Yep.
And if I'm stranded on a desert island and I would have one album to listen to, I want to make sure I have enough music. And you're not alone with Automatic because two of our, and I'm going to say our super fans, they're my relatives and they're super Prince fans. And Tommy Arnold, my brother I was just mentioning, and Jennifer Jester Arnold, my sister-in-law, not his wife, my brother Billy's wife, both chose Automatic as one of their top Prince songs.
Excellent taste once again. Thank you. AUT-O-Matic.
So in love.
do it.
So we're going to my number 4, and we've already mentioned it. We mentioned it in the intro. We just mentioned it again when I said your name is Andy and you are funky, because my next one is My Name is Prince.
Yes.
And I like the story behind the song. I always loved the song when I was a DJ. I loved playing the song. It's just, it changes pace, and it's fast, it's funky, it's got different sections to it. But I like the ironic part of it, that it was on the Love Symbol album.
Yes.
When Prince changed his name to the Love Symbol album, we're not going to get into the whole Warner Brothers thing,
Nope.
Why he did that. But on that album where he changed his name to the Love Symbol, he has the song My Name is Prince. So I liked that part about it. And the song was really about Prince himself and his prowess. And there's a rap part in it. Like, there are different sections of it. And so the first part's kind of rocking when he's going, My Name is Prince. Then there's a little rap section in there. And then they, and they have parts of I Want to Be Your Lover, Party Up, Controversy, all blended into it. So I really like that. And another thing about that is the B-side of that was Sexy Mother.
Sexy MF.
No, it wasn't MF. It was the clean version.
All right.
And I had no idea because I never owned the single for that. And so, yeah, it was their clean version of Sexy Mother Effer, just called Sexy Mother on that.
All right.
And another thing I liked about the song is that shot that he took at Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Where he goes, you got to be a prince before you're king anyway.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson proclaimed himself the king of pop.
So here it is. My name is Prince.
My name is Prince, and I am funky. My name is Prince, the one and only. I did not come to fuck around till I get your daughter. I won't leave this town.
And I just want to keep singing these songs.
Yes.
Even the bad ones that we went through later when I was editing these down, I'm listening to the songs and I just want to keep singing.
Well, there's no bad ones. The ones that we think are
not
overrated.
bad.
We had to choose some.
It was the rules.
Yep. And let me say, this is a little trivia, not trivia, but probably no one cares, but this is probably the last Prince album that I bought, because I bought every Prince album from 1978
You bought me one of the
this
newer
time.
ones.
Well, I was to say, until like some of the recent
Yeah.
recent years one that we've gotten like a dollar bin. But yeah, when I bought like every Prince album in a row, and then like around this time period, I got more into Nirvana and grunge, so I stopped. Prince wasn't cool anymore for me. I was in college trying to be cool.
And Prince became a Jehovah's Witness and things started changing a little bit.
And then he had the controversy with his name, and he switched
Yeah.
over. So he kind of released some clunkers on purpose because he had a record contract
Yeah.
with Warner. So like, all right, here's some music.
This album was incredible, though. This was a good
This
album.
album was good.
This
But-
is the second single off that album.
Yeah, and I would not put that song in my top 3 in that album. But it's all right. It's a good album. Good thing.
Well, we're at your number 4. What's your number 4?
My number 4, and I'm interested to hear your clip in a little bit, is Condition of the Heart from 1985, Around One a Day. I told you earlier, like, you got into Prince before I did. I got into Prince midway through the Purple Rain album, and then I got real big into him. I started buying his back
Sure.
albums. That's like his 5th album. So the next album after that was Around One a Day, which Condition of the Heart is one of his slow songs. And I would say it's probably one of his greatest slow love songs.
I actually like the latter better on that album, but
Well, see, that's not a love song, though.
no, it's not a love song.
So like that one in like Sometimes It Snows in April, great slow song, but
Yeah.
it's not really a love song. So I put that, and they call it one of his Sunday songs where the band's off and Prince came in and he did like emotional songs that day, Sunday, just him and the piano or the engineer and they record these things. And it's about Susanna Melvoin, his girlfriend at the time, who was a twin sister of Wendy, his guitar player. So why don't you play a little clip? 'Cause I'm curious because the song has different themes in it. Like starts off with the piano, then it gets loud, then it gets into kind of melancholy song.
yeah, and I usually just grab the essence of the songs for this one, so that's pretty much what
All
we got
right,
here.
let's see.
Whenever I would act a fool, the fool with the condition of the
Yeah, I just want to make sure the title of the song was there, because if anybody knows the song or barely knows the song, that'd be the part that they would say, "Oh yeah, I remember that song." So that's why I kind of grabbed it like that.
I don't know. I want you to continue. I was enjoying that.
Sing
'cause
to us.
He starts getting fired up. I will say some lyrics he has there. And so the song is called Condition of the Heart. And basically what it means is like a heartbreak where love is a condition of the heart. He talks about how he has this love for women. He spends all kind of money on them, but then he leave him for a real prince from Arabia. And he says, love only buys a condition of the heart. So it's one of his most hauntingly beautiful song is emotionally rich. You know, it's a song. This is probably this part here is from ChatGPT. It's a song that whispers instead of shouts, and in doing so, it leaves a deeper emotional mark. That's pretty good. Huh?
See, if you would have just read it that way and didn't tell us it's ChatGPT, it's like, damn,
I know.
This one really touched you.
I would have been laughing though because it seems like something I would not say. But it kind of sets that mood. Listen to it, and it's about heartbreak. Here's Prince thinking he has anybody he wants, but he says, you know, money buys all this stuff, but love only buys the condition of the heart. So I like it. I listen to it a lot. It's a pop song I like a lot.
Yeah. My next one, none of the songs on this album were charted. And actually, this one did chart the top 20 in Australia when I was doing my research. It's not even in my notes. But and this is when people in Australia discovered Prince. But this is probably my third favorite album. I just love this album from top to bottom.
Yeah, so right now, our Australian listeners now are saying, Oi, governor, that's a popular song.
I played this on the Diggeradoo.
Yeah, exactly. They're probably enjoying it.
Drinking a Foster's, riding a kangaroo.
Yeah, that's not a hidden gem, mate. That's a popular song.
Wow.
So what actually...
The wheels just came off. Thank you.
So besides people from Australia, tell us what album it is and what song is it?
Well, I don't want to tell you yet because I want to talk about the song. Yeah, so Prince produced, and it addresses at the time, Prince was really starting to become popular. He had the one big hit with I Want to Be Your Lover already. On this album, people were looking at him, especially after Dirty Mind, questioning his sexuality, his gender, his religion, his racial background. Is he black or white? Is he straight or gay? And he couldn't understand why do they give a damn about this if he's black or white or straight or gay, which are lyrics in the song. Yeah. And I like the different sections of this song because he has that whole part where he's talking about where people are questioning him, if you know those things. And then he breaks into the Lord's Prayer. And he recites the entire Lord's Prayer, which a lot of people found to be blasphemous and got angry with him about. And then at the end of it, it's sort of like a rap thing where he goes, you know, people call me rude. I wish we all were nude. I wish there were no black and whites. And I wish there were no rules. And it's sort of like addressing the beginning of the song where he just can't understand why people give a damn, why it matter if he's black or white, straight or gay.
Well, and it's funny, like I probably learned the Lord's Prayer from this song. in his song, he does an extra line that's not done in most Catholic churches.
Yes.
So, right?
Yeah.
So you know that. So when I'm in church and I'm like, I want to keep going on, I'm like, whoa, okay, it stops there.
Obviously, if you know Prince and you know the lyrics I was just reciting, it's obviously Controversy from the album Controversy. Do I believe in God? Okay,
That's
we can go.
Good choice, good song.
Now we're to your number 3.
So my number 3 came out a year before Controversy, and it came off the Dirty Mind album, which is a great album.
Another great album.
Controversial.
As Tipper Gore.
Yes. So the song I chose is When You Were Mine. So it's the catchiest song off the album. If you know the Dirty Mind album, it is dirty. It is raunchy. But this song, which is a little raunchy, but it's very pop friendly. It's one of Prince's catchiest songs, and it was covered by Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah,
She's So Unusual.
She charted with that, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't a big hit for her, but off her She's So Unusual album, the one with Girls Want to Have Fun, she sang this Prince song. So this is like in a lot of Prince's early stuff, like this album and Controversy, all the instruments are played by Prince. This song actually appeared on his Greatest Hits CD.
Yes.
It's called Prince the Hits, but it wasn't a hit at all. But Prince knew it was a good song, so it made it on the hits. And it's a catchy song, and it's kind of about, so it's called When You Were Mine. So it's about someone who still loves their ex, even though their ex cheated on them and was bad. And it's kind of funny. There's some funny lines in there. He says, I still love you, and I don't care that the other guy was sleeping between us. So it's a funny song, but it's very catchy. I love it. I listen to it a lot. It's one of the best songs off that album, and the album is a great album.
And even with the clip, I had to just put some of the music in there because the music is so catchy, besides the lyrics that recite the title.
I know that you're going with another guy. Don't care, 'cause I love you, baby, that's no lie. Love you more than I did when you were mine.
So none of our friends, none of your family picked that song?
No, they didn't. But some of my family,
Prince
we had a quick turnaround on this. So some of my brothers didn't get to chime in at all because they have lives.
All right, yeah.
So I assume they have lives.
This is a great song. My number 3, When You Were Mine. 1980.
Okay, so now we're going to go to mine. And you'd already mentioned somebody I'm about to talk about in mine. Mine was written by Prince and Susanna Melvin, who Prince was dating at the time, and twin sister of Wendy from the Revolution. And it's based on a true story that about this girl, Cynthia Rose, that Wendy and Susanna, it's hard to say her name because of the way it's spelled. But anyway, somebody they knew in elementary school. So when they're, hanging out, when they were recording Sign of the Times, they were just talking to each other and talking about stories from when they were younger. And they remembered this girl, Cynthia Rose, who nobody really hung out with, but Susanna, took to her, I guess felt bad for her, and hung out with her and asked her often, what did you have for breakfast? And Cynthia Rose always turned around and said, I had starfish and pee-pee.
Yes.
And I did read somewhere else, it wasn't in the research I found this time, but that, Cynthia Rose was handicapped, sort of had something.
Yes.
Something wrong. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was. I couldn't find that research again. So Prince became so fascinated with the story that he felt he had to make it into a song, but of course he couldn't put starfish and pee-pee and coffee, and we're talking about what you had for breakfast, and so it became Starfish and Coffee off of my favorite album, Sign of the Times. So
yeah, and I would say, like I mentioned earlier about When Your Mind's catchy, this song is also very catchy and radio friendly, but even if it's not a radio hit, and also maybe one of his funniest songs. It's kind of funny and has a good tune to it. I don't know other songs you call Prince be funny, but this one is one.
And I'm going to tell you how friendly it is. The version I want to play now, it's really the only video we're playing this whole entire podcast.
I know without looking.
It's from the Muppets.
From the Muppets.
Prince went on the Muppets and sang Starfish and Coffee.
You ask her what she had for breakfast, this is what she'd say. Starfish and coffee, maple syrup and jam, butterscotch clouds and a tangerine, 'cause I had ordered a ham. If you set your mind free, baby, maybe you'd understand. Starfish and coffee, maple syrup and jam.
Okay, I'm surprised none of our fans picked that song, because I know like my friend Kurt is a big fan of it. But like you said, we had a quick turnaround. We did 2 podcasts this week, so.
Well, and even on that album, I mean, there's so many songs I love on that album. I just told you, Never Take the Place of Your Man is my favorite fast Prince song.
That's definitely in my top 3 albums of all time. Of Prince albums, probably any album.
Sure.
1999, Purple Rain, and this one, Sign of the Times.
We'll do Prince albums top and bottom one day.
Yes.
So now we're at you. You number 2.
Number 2 came out in 1979 when Prince was 21 years old. The first song on the album was I Want to Be Your Lover. I think it's one of the best 1-2 punches ever on any album. Any album, you heard me out there. So the first one is I Want to Be Your Lover. Second one is Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. You know I love you. It's a Prince one. Very similar to my number 3 song in the style, the theme, about why you treat me so bad. I love you. Both were in the hits volume 1, even though this wasn't a big hit. So I think it's a great one, followed by I Want to Be Your Lover. Like I said, Prince's second album. The song appeared on hits. Backing vocals by Andre Simone, one of Prince's good friends. And Andre Simone got mad because he didn't have any credit on the album. And Prince was like, you're in the background. Nobody could barely hear you. You weren't even needed for that. Caused some animosity between them out there, if you want to know that. The album also had, by the way, little trivia is not related to the song. It had I Feel For You, a Prince song that was later made famous by Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
And by the way, I don't know what clip you have here, but if you want to go see this song on YouTube, Prince performed it, on American Bandstand in 1980. Check it out because it's funny. Then afterwards, they interview Prince, and he's really shy. He doesn't want to give answers. And I say he kind of sang it because he lip synced it on there. But the song, let's play a little bit, okay? Play Why You Want to Be So Bad.
Why you wanna treat me so bad? I love you. How can you do this to me? Why you wanna treat me so bad? I love you.
And the song also, go ahead and listen to it. Coming up number 2, it's great. It ends with a great guitar solo. Like Prince later years got known for having great guitar solos, but usually every album had a searing guitar solo. And this one had one near the end of it as well that kind of blends Jimi Hendrix and Carlos Santana. check it out. Even check out the one on American Bandstand because Dick Clark interviews him. And like you tell, Prince doesn't want to talk to him. He's like giving him hand signs and all. And it's pretty good. So there you go. My number 2 from 1979.
All right, so now we're to my number one,
Number
which
one.
came out in 1982. And it wasn't my favorite one in 1982. I think it became my favorite Prince slow song later in my teenage years and, my later teenage years because I was in a place, it was teenage angst or teenage loneliness, all those problems that when we look back now, it's like, wow, that didn't really matter at all. But back then it spoke to me and I listened to it a bunch. And the lyrics don't sleep till the sunrise, listen to falling rain. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about your pain. Don't cry unless you're happy. Don't smile unless you're blue. Never let that lonely monster take control of you. And then later, another lyric says, there's others doing far worse than us, so be glad that you are free. And free's the name of the song. But that one right there, there's others doing far worse than us. And not that I took it from that song, but it's something I look at a lot now whenever something's really bothering me. Have some perspective. Look at what's happening to other people in the world, and really, are things that bad for you?
It's almost like a patriotic Prince song.
Yeah.
Kind of like America from a few years later. But think about it, this is during the Cold War when, freedom was a big thing for Americans as opposed to the Soviet Union and
It
communism.
starts off with the marching, marching soldiers.
Yeah, it is kind of like I said, a patriotic song,
Sure.
but there's some great lyrics, and this is also a great song. I do agree.
I assumed it was marching soldiers. It's just marching. He never said it was
Yeah.
soldiers. But anyway, here's a little part of Free.
Be glad that you are free. Free to change your mind. Free to go most anywhere, anytime. Glad that you are free. There's many a man who's not. Glad for what you had, baby, what you got. Glad for what you got.
Okay, so that was my number one, Free, off of 1999, which is an incredible album. But this one didn't have a single. I don't believe it had a single.
No.
So really, a lot of people don't even know this song. I assume a lot of people that might listen to this podcast had never heard it before. But it's my number one.
And I want to say, we could have chose a lot of songs off that album, Sign of the Times, a lot of different albums.
We can do a top of bottom off of Sign of Times
Yeah.
and or 1999.
We could also do a top 5 B-sides,
Yes.
which I'm segueing now into my number one,
Ooh.
which is a B-side. It's She's Always in My Hair, the 1985 B-side for Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry Beret. I always pronounce it
Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry.
So those of you out there who bought the Raspberry Beret 45 or 12-inch single, flip it over, get a song a hit. Prince fans know it and they like it. It's one of his
Sure.
big gems. They love the song. Once again, he recorded it all by himself. He recorded it in 1983 at the height of Purple Rain. The song is, about someone, it's called She's Always in My Hair. So it's kind of about whenever I'm down or I'm not doing great things in life, she's always there for me. She's always in my hair, making sure that she's taking care of me, loving me unconditionally, even when I don't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, even though she might be aggravating him because she's always there, he knows how much she cares and that she's looking out for him, and she's she has the best for him. So that's the kind of nagging she's probably doing.
Exactly. And the song was apparently written for Jill Jones, who's a collaborator of Prince, musician in her own right, possible girlfriend. But for those of you who know her from this, she was in Purple Rain as the waitress at the club.
I did not know that.
And she was also in the videos for 1999 at Little Red Corvette. When you see Lisa and another person on the
Yeah, I
keyboard,
remember seeing her now in those.
it's Jill Jones who's doing that, and Prince wrote this song for her. And maybe not because they're dating, but we all have a friend who, when we're down, hey, they're there for me to pick me up. And have you. So let's play a little bit of it, and I'll
Yeah, I need to come back and give some comments on this. So yes,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and play a little part of it.
She's always there, telling me how much she cares. She's always in my hair. She's always in my hair, my hair.
Maybe I'll marry her.
maybe I won't.
So anyway,
That's the lyrics, by the way.
my problem with this was that I didn't consider any B-sides because this single right here sold almost 700,000 copies and reached number 2 on the Billboard Pop charts. You know, if I knew we were doing those, I would have considered things like one that I considered putting in there, but because it was a B-side to a hit, actually sold almost 1 million copies and reached number 1. It was the B-side to Let's Go Crazy. And I played the hell out. I think I played this song more in the clubs than I played Let's Go Crazy. And it's I think this might be Prince's most popular B-side, Erotic
Probably
City.
so, yes.
Erotic City. And there are clean versions where they kind of do that reversal thing like I did last week on our show with the bad words. But no, Erotic City would have definitely been in consideration if I was considering the B-sides, but I was thinking, oh, well, it's the B-side of that. So
Yeah, and once again, to our listeners out there who are young, so when a song was released as a single, like for instance, the Beatles' Hey Jude, this is a single, that was the A-side. That was the people were buying Hey Jude for Hey Jude. So they usually put like a filler song on the B-side, the flip side, that you got to turn that record over to play. And it usually is not a big hit. It's like
because they want to sell twice as many records. If they put 2 big hits on 145, then they're only getting 1 sale. So they'll put a lesser song off the album, or like you said, Prince would write a song for the B-side.
Yeah, like usually like they would put a song that is not even album worthy on the
Sure.
B-side. And Prince had great B-sides. I could definitely top 5 Prince B-sides would be in the top 20 songs he has.
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of
Erotic
good
City
B-sides.
and like She's Always in My Hair. So yeah, that's my pick. If you want to look at it on YouTube, if they have it, look for the 12-inch version where he really sings the song, then he goes off in a tangent near the end
Yeah.
where he screams, and I love it.
I want to comment on all 5 of yours are about relationships. Relationships
Whoa.
breaking up, heartbreaks. Well, let's just look at yours again.
Yeah.
She's Always in My Hair. You had number 1. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, number 2. When You Were Mine, number 3. Condition of the Heart, number 4. And Automatic is even about You Tell Me
Yep.
That You Love Me.
It's
Yeah,
on it, yeah.
All yours are just, you know.
That's true, 'cause
You
an
okay,
Automatic
man? You
is-
good? I mean, I know you're
Yeah.
happy in your relationship now.
They're good love songs. Like when Automatic is, you ask me if I love you. Yeah, it's Automatic.
Yeah, you say it's true.
Yep. So yeah, but I do like Prince's early love funky stages when it's about that kind of stuff. Later on, when he got into like just more like funky musicians, I was turned off. Sorry.
Yeah, and a lot of mine, which I didn't even put in there, I would have put in there because of being a DJ. They were just big hits like Kiss. I actually got sick of Kiss because I think it's the best Prince song to play as a DJ. You know, because it's just strong and starts off so well. But anyway, we're gonna get to our worst. But before we get to our worst, I just want to say one of my good friends who's a super Prince fan. I'm sure he's never listened to the podcast. They'll probably all listen to this episode since they contributed to it. But when I asked him to give me, his top Prince songs that weren't top 20, that's fine. He could do that. But when I said go through these top 20 songs and tell me which ones are overrated, and he replied to me, said, you expect me to call any of those songs overrated? And he said, there may be an intervention in your immediate future. He was concerned about me that I would say that any Prince song, especially any of those that charted in the top 20, were overrated. And I clarified, I didn't really mean overrated. I said, look at these songs and tell me what your least favorite 3 are. And that's what we did here. So anyway, we're going to I don't even want to play These Are the Worst, but it is the song.
Well,
that
let me say, and it was a difficult task, but we knew the task at hand. We knew we had to pick it, so we can't say none of them, they're all good. We knew we had to pick 3 that weren't our favorites.
These are the worst. These are the worst.
Okay, so we're going to start with me this time with my worst of those songs.
All right.
Yes. Well, actually, we're going to start with you. But
Yeah.
but your number 3 is the same as my number 1.
Okay, so should I skip my number 3? Yeah, I'll skip it.
Yeah, we're going to skip your number 3. We'll let you talk about it when we get to my number 1. And I didn't do a lot of research on these. I mean, I knew some things about them.
Yeah.
And actually, I know 2 of mine are from movies. Yeah,
2 of mine
I
are
just
from the
realized
same
that.
album.
Yeah. So mine is from.
Let me say this too. Like, so I don't have much information on my bottom ones either. So listeners, yeah, we'll probably get through these pretty quickly because not much to say about them.
Yeah. So mine was actually from a Tim Burton movie. And the reason why Prince got the gig for this is because Jack Nicholson was such a huge fan of Prince. And he kind of insisted that they bring Prince on to do the music for this. And there's great songs on this album. And I even like this song. But since it charted and I had to pick one. And the reason why I think I picked it is because it's not really just Prince singing. It seems it's really produced and mixed, and has those parts from the movie in it. Parts, it's a hodgepodge of things, which it's a good song. I'm just saying, of all those, I had a problem with it, and it's, of course, it's the theme from the movie Batman. Go with a smile.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it. If I'm somewhere and they play it, I get crazy.
Is that your favorite song on that album? Because it's not my favorite song on that album.
No, not in the album, but it's one you hear the most.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it might be my third favorite, but Party Man's just that's
Yeah.
the tops for me off that album. That's just a great song.
it's not one of his best albums, but there's some good songs in there.
Yes. So anyway, what's your second least favorite of
Second
the best?
of his hits. And let me say this too, like, so you and I usually, like, New Orleans will have like a Prince night usually every year around the time he died.
And
or
I'll be
his
running
birthday.
photos from us at all those different things that we've been to, a bunch of Prince events, and I need your Paisley Park photos because I want to put mine in there.
All right. And it's a fun thing, you know, we see bands play Prince songs and we enjoy it because we know every song, we like this stuff. And so this song off of Diamond and Pearls called Cream, when they play it. I enjoy hearing it, but I guess I enjoy Prince's earlier stuff first. So Prince's stuff, The Revolution, I like more, which is odd because they were just like a touring band. Like, it was all
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah.
But this is the first album, Diamond and Pearls, when he chose the New Power Generation, the first album to get credit on. And they're probably better musicians. They probably, played better as a group, but I wasn't as into their music. The funk stuff and
He
the
started
grooves.
sharing vocals a lot
I
more with
get
other
it.
people too.
Yeah, definitely. He shared more vocals with things. So Cream is a good song, but it's not one of the ones I'd pick the best.
Cream, get on top. Cream, you will cop. Cream, don't you stop. Cream, sugar wow.
Cream.
I had nothing more to say. It was a huge hit. You know?
My next one, I think it may have been a huge hit also. I just never really cared for it. The movie, it may have been the movie, and I don't even know if this is true, but if I understood that Prince really wanted a movie vehicle for Morris Day, because, I mean, honestly, in Purple Rain, the best parts of Purple Rain, I think, were when Morris Day and Jerome were in it.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, and so I don't have any evidence on this because I didn't look it up, but from what I understand, he wanted a vehicle for Morris Day, a movie for Morris Day, and they would not let him have a movie just for Morris Day if he wasn't going to be in it. And so they came out with
Without Graffiti Bridge.
Yeah, Graffiti
which is
Bridge.
a terrible movie.
It is, and maybe that's why this song didn't resonate as good with me because it's associated with that movie.
It's not a good movie. It's not a great album. Once again, the album, he shares a lot of things. It's not a whole
Sure.
Prince album. But yeah, it's not a great one. If you get out there listening, watch Purple Rain, watch Sign of the Time, and watch Under the Cherry Moon.
Yeah, praise the album
Yeah.
for Under Cherry Moon. So,
Graffiti Bridge, skip it.
yeah, you can skip that one. But anyway, this is Thieves in the Temple. Okay, now we'll do yours.
My number one most overrated song. Now this is after I was over Prince. I think it's the number one single. I think it was. It's The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. I guess it's the first probably single released by The Symbol when Prince changed his name to The Symbol, and it's written for his future wife Maite on his own label. And I never got into it. Maybe I was into Nirvana at the time, Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots. So it's hard to like this romantic Prince ballad.
Well, this one could have been on my list, but I think just like Thieves in the Temple suffered from the movie it was associated with, this song, and just a really quick story, is Kevin Smith, one of my favorite directors, asked Prince if he could put this into one of his movies. And Prince told him, no, you can't use any of my songs, but you can use anything by the time. And in that movie, actually, he used Jungle Love, and at the end, the time was in the movie. And so I guess maybe that's why it resonates, because that story, and I don't really understand why.
Yeah.
But
And if you don't know, the Time songs are written by Prince. Prince wrote the Time songs, so he told him, you can have a song I wrote, but by another band, not my
Yeah.
own stuff.
maybe we'll do a top about time one day.
I could do that.
So anyway, this is the most beautiful girl in the world.
Could you be the most beautiful girl
Prince, he does his own stuff. He was sued by 2 Italian singers or songwriters about this, saying they plagiarized their song, and they won. They won in an Italian court. So in Italy, they received songwriting credit for this song, but not in America or anywhere else for that. And I would suggest, I didn't hear it till last night. I played the song. First, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. These Italians are just trying to get money off of Prince. But part of it in the middle does sound like it. I mean, but did Prince ever hear this Italian song? I don't know. But give it a listen.
All right. So that was our, well, actually, we got one more.
One
Sorry.
more.
I'm going to cut this.
Okay.
This. So now we're to my worst one, which was your third worst.
Yes.
And so, I mean, and
Overrated.
yeah, overrated, worst. But you want to introduce it?
I mean, it's a good song. And like I mentioned earlier, if a DJ plays this, the crowd enjoys it. It's a catchy song, but it's off of Diamond and Pearls, and it is called
Diamonds and Pearls.
If I gave you diamonds and pearls, would you be a happy boy or a girl? If I could, I would give you the world. All I can do is just offer you my love.
I think I could summarize my thoughts on this and think, like, we both like Prince's earlier stuff, kind of when he was a one-man show doing it all himself. With this album, he started getting more vocalists on his records and getting more people with input in the instruments, and it probably sounds better to musicians.
Collaborating maybe hurt him, because when he was just doing it his own in the early days, that's I mean, at least for our tastes, that's what we liked, and that's when we fell in love with Prince, and then we both fell off about the same time we were talking about earlier.
And she has a beautiful voice, I mean, and the music sounds good and cohesive, but give me the raw energy of kind of rock and roll / funk. I want that combination of stuff.
Like the Dirty Mind controversy, era, that kind of stuff.
Exactly, yes.
So now we had a bunch of super fans, more than last time, comment on things here. So let's get to what our super fans were talking about.
The best and worst picks from our super fans. The best and worst picks from our super fans.
Okay, we're going to start with some people that aren't our super fans, but they're super Prince fans. But hopefully after this episode, they're going to go back and listen to all of them because this is a good episode, I think. So actually, my brother Tommy, he gave his 5, and he actually gave more than 5. He likes Musicology, Illusion, Coma, Pimp, Circumstance, DMSR, which we mentioned earlier, of 1999. 1999 was a huge album for him, and it was a huge album for me because of him. He also had Let's Pretend We're Married on there, Automatic, and International Lover, which I struggled between Let's Pretend We're Married and International Lover.
So he had 4 songs of 1999 on his top 5.
On his top 5. And I will say with International Lover, I remember this from when I was young. He had a convertible, Oldsmobile convertible, and on his sun visor, which was always flipped up, whenever this song came on, he'd flip it down when they said, "Please observe the no letting go sign." He had a no letting go sign in his car, and he played it that often that he had a sign on his.
And it's a great song with a lot of innuendo, inside stuff on International Lover.
Yeah, his bottom ones off of that list were Kiss, Alphabet Street, and Cream.
All right, he lost me with Kiss there. I mean, his top 5 is pretty good.
Yeah, well, Alphabet Street, I could have agreed with him, but that was my senior year of high school, and you really identify with songs from your senior year of high school. And I was kind of disappointed that was the album. Love Sexy was the album that came out my senior year of high school. I kind of got ripped off because all the albums around there were a lot better.
Mine was Batman soundtrack.
Yeah, I rather the Black Album.
Yeah,
which was not published.
Yes.
So anyway, that was Tommy's. Another super fan, the one who says I need to get some help. Rocky Berg, he's hit some of his tops were Question of You and She's Always in My Hair.
All right, Question of You. Wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, well, Rocky goes pretty deep with this. He's the one that introduced me to the Black Album because he had a copy of it.
From the Parade album, yeah.
Yeah, in his bottom 3, he was a DJ just like I was, except he was a better one. But it was Kiss is one of his bottom ones, and it's because he had to play it 1 trillion times. I'm telling you, DJs, it was such a great one to play. His bottom one is another great one for DJs to play because I told you it's my favorite song, so I totally disagree with this. I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man and Party Man.
Yep.
Are some of his bottom ones. So obviously we disagree on some of those.
Yep.
Catherine Arnold, my daughter, yes. And I thought about she messes with me a bunch. And so I thought about acting like she's just a moron here, but no, she's just messing with me because she put down as her favorite Prince song, "Man in the Mirror." So what she used to do when she first started driving and a Michael Jackson song came on the radio, she'd record it and she'd talk to me on the phone first and she'd say, "Oh, look, my favorite Prince song is playing," and I'd hear a Michael Jackson song playing. Or if Raspberry Beret came on, she's like, "Oh, my favorite Michael Jackson song's on," and she would do that to me. So yeah, she did put in "Man in the Mirror" because she's funny.
Is that her favorite Michael Jackson song? Man in the Mirror?
I honestly don't know, but I mean, I like Michael Jackson a lot too, but she likes Prince, but she really likes Michael Jackson.
Let me tell her. So that was a hit by Michael Jackson. So she doesn't know the rules of the game.
No,
Catherine, follow the rules. You got to pick a.
Maybe she is an ignoramus.
Exactly. She doesn't know.
What was the word I was supposed to fit in earlier?
Ignorant.
No, imbecile.
Imbecile.
Yeah, so Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine, you got to pick a Michael Jackson song that wasn't a hit to follow the rules.
Yes, you're lucky you're a super fan.
Yes. She is a fan too.
Yes, Jennifer Jester Arnold, who we mentioned earlier, she's when we did Automatic, but she also likes Erotic City, and she likes Horny Toad.
Yeah, all right.
So Erotic City and Horny Toad.
Yeah, she has a theme too that she likes. I'm seeing there.
Yeah, a lot of respect going out to Jen Hunter Terrell because she picks "Sometimes It Snows in April."
That's a good one.
It's a great song. Kurt, I'll let you take over some of these.
My buddy Kurt Landry, what did he say? He put Gold. I don't know. Slow Love.
Slow Love. That's
Walk
Sign of
Don't
Times,
Walk.
right?
Slow Love is yes.
Yes.
Walk Don't Walk. I guess Forever. Is that just Forever or Forever My Life? I don't know. If This Could Be Us, Dreamer. Some deep cuts from Kurt there too. You must have been listening to like a Prince album recently.
Yeah, and finally, this super fan who actually isn't really into Prince, but he does listen to all our shows, and he actually texted me right before we went on the air, and I added something that he said. But he says he likes "Darlin' Nikki" thanks to the Foo Fighters covering it, and "Nothing Compares to You" thanks to Chris Cornell for covering it.
Whatever takes it, I guess.
Yeah. Whatever brings you over to Prince, you know. And but he also he sent me a story right before we came on the air, and he told me that Pat Smear of the Foo Fighters was actually in the Raspberry Beret video.
I knew that. Yes.
You knew that? I did not know that. He had a friend that was a casting director and put him on shows like Chips and Quincy MD. So I actually didn't realize how old Pat Smear was if he was on Chips and Quincy MD.
I didn't know that part. I knew he was in a Raspberry Beret video.
Yeah. So he almost wasn't. Because his friend got him onto the set, and he was supposed to be in the background. They had some choreographed dances, as Prince does. They all had in Raspberry Beret. They're doing that simple dance, they're dipping and moving around. But this dude just simply couldn't dance. Pat Smear simply couldn't dance, and so they kind of kicked him off the set. And as he was leaving, and he was in the hallway, he sees Big Chick. Big Chick is Prince's bodyguard, and Prince walks up and whispers in Big Chick's ear and says, tells him to get back out there. He likes his hair. He wants him in the video because he likes his hair. So, I don't remember him in the video. I want to go back and look and see if he actually tried to dance in that.
I saw like some video clip. They highlighted him on there, so they kind of spotlight him because otherwise you can't pick him out too much in the video. But I'll say this controversial thing. Like, I prefer the B-side of Raspberry Beret than Raspberry Beret.
Well, you already told us
She's
that.
always in my hair.
Yes.
Well, I could have still liked Raspberry Beret more, just it wasn't on the list, but...
So I might be the same with that, but I'm burnt on a Raspberry Beret because of being a DJ. Yeah, because so many people love Raspberry Beret. Yeah,
I like it a lot too. Like I said, if someone plays it, I'm like, all right, I crank it up.
Okay, well that's it for this week's episode.
So soon?
It. But please, check out our website, www.thetopandbottomlist.com. No, .weebly.com. Sorry, topandbottomlist.weebly.com. Well, I might change it once we start raking in some money from the merch sales. Then I'll go pay for a website, but I'm going to use the free one for now. But of course, as always, go on our social media, go on our Facebook, and we'll put the next topic up there. Please chime in so we can talk about it and see what you guys like. And hey, if you guys want to start suggesting some areas that we should cover, we're open to that stuff too. We're not running out of ideas yet, but we'd love to see what you guys think. We should talk about. I don't know why you care what we think, but we do appreciate it.
No, yes, they care. People talk about it all the time.
Anyway, that's it for this week's Top and Bottom List show.
That's it for this week. The Top and Bottom List by Lance and Andy. Full episodes here on Spotify. Thank you, like and subscribe. Please check out our website,